Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Colorado Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. I'm going to turn it over to our presenters now, and first up is the University of Tampa.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Samantha Kotz. I am an Assistant Director of Admissions at the University of Tampa. So thank you so much for coming to hear us today. I'd just like to start off first with a little bit about the Tampa area. So if you haven't been in Tampa, we are actually located right downtown in the city of Tampa. So only about a 5-minute walk into the downtown area. So very close by, but we are still divided from the downtown by a river. So that river runs right between our campus and the downtown area. So at the same time, although we are surrounded by that urban environment, we maintain a very traditional college campus feel. So it's going to very much feel like a little community within the city when you walk around on campus. We don't have any city streets that cut through our campus, so it's very easy to navigate. You know where the city starts and where our campus starts. It's very divided, but you still have all the access into the downtown when you want to. So we do have about 9,600 students on our campus. About 1,000 of those are graduate students, and they're pretty much coming from all over. So we have all 50 states represented, as well as 132 different countries. So we're a very diverse student population. About 70% of our students come from out of state, about 10% are international students, and about 20% come from within the state of Florida. So you're going to meet people from all over, but more importantly, since you are coming from so far away, you're going to be in the same boat as everyone else, which is really nice to have that support system. I can speak from personal experience. When I was a UT student, I moved from Maryland to Florida, and it was just really comforting knowing that everyone was going through that transition of moving far away together. So we do have about 22 students on average per class. They stay right around that mark unless you're a science student. Some of your entry-level science classes might be a little bit larger, but those still break down into smaller classes for your labs. No huge lecture halls. And no matter what major you do choose, we're going to emphasize a learn by doing curriculum. So by keeping those classes a little bit smaller, we're going to be able to give you research opportunities, project-based learning in the classroom, and of course we have a lot of internship opportunities since we are so close to the downtown area. We do have over 200 areas of study to choose from. So some of our more popular areas are marine science, biology, a lot of health sciences, so nursing, pre-med. We also have quite a few business majors, so management, finance are very popular. And then no matter what major you do choose, again, you're going to have great faculty. You're going to be learning from the best. So 90% of our faculty either have a PhD or a terminal degree, meaning the highest degree possible in their field. So they are definitely super qualified. You're definitely learning from experts, and they're all very supportive as well. So if you ever need additional assistance, they're going to be there to help you. Just moving on about the Tampa area a little bit more. So like I mentioned, we are right downtown, only about a 5-minute walk across the bridge into the downtown area. So lots of things to do, lots of great shops and restaurants, and also entertainment. We have a lot of music and food festivals and things that would normally go on in non-COVID times. And of course, we have great professional sports teams. So we did win the Stanley Cup last night, which is super exciting. So the Tampa area is going wild for our Lightning team, but students can typically walk right downtown and go to those games. It's only about a 15-minute walk from campus, and they get discounted tickets with their student IDs. So that's a great perk. We do have a lot of great things that go on campus as well. We have over 300 clubs and organizations to be a part of. So everything from leadership organizations like student government and Greek life. About 20% of our students do Greek life. We have clubs related to your major, as well as clubs related to your hobbies. Some of the most popular being Hammock Club and Beach Club, if those are appealing to you. Only about 30 minutes away from the beaches, so pretty close by. And then most of our students do live on campus. Since we do have students coming mostly from out of state and internationally, about 62% of our population lives on campus. Those are mostly freshmen and sophomores. So about 92% of our freshmen live on campus. It's not required, but definitely suggested, at least for the first year. It's just easier to make that transition and acclimate to college life and our campus and get involved if you're living on campus for at least that first year. And then if you're interested in playing a sport, we do have NCAA Division II sports. So they are primarily recruitment based. I would highly recommend going and reaching out to the coaches if you are interested in playing that, because you'll want them to know your name if you're interested in playing those. And then just moving on, lastly, to the application process. So we do have early action. So if you're currently a senior, we are accepting applications. If you apply by November 15th, you will hear back by December 15th, and then early action to January 15th, you'll hear back by February 15th. Regular decision follows that same format. If you apply by March 1st, you'll hear back by April 1st. We do not have early decision, so you're not binded to your decision. If you apply to UT, it just means by early action that you'll guarantee a decision by a certain date. We do not require test scores for the application process if you are applying for fall of 2021. So currently we are test blind for fall of 2021, meaning that we will not look at test scores for the application process or the merit scholarship process. So there's no need to wait and take those exams in order to apply. We will not need those scores. And that merit scholarship process is based on your unweighted GPA. So again, you don't need those scores to qualify for merit scholarships. They range from $4,000 to $18,000 a year, and you're going to be automatically evaluated for those based on your GPA. And then if you do have any AP dual enrollment or advanced level courses, we'll evaluate you for additional need that way as well. So that's about it for me. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer those. Just go ahead and put them in the Q&A box and I will respond as soon as I can.
Fantastic, thank you. And next up, we have Eckerd College.
Awesome, thank you. Alrighty, let's get this started. So thank you, Samantha. Shout out to the Tampa Bay Lightning team for getting the Stanley Cup this year. That was super exciting. But let's talk about Eckerd College. So introduction, my name is Dylan. I'm Assistant Director of Admission here at Eckerd. So yes, this is a picture of our campus. Eckerd College is located right here in St. Pete, Florida, which is about 30 minutes from the Tampa International Airport. We have about 1,900 students total, so we're a relatively small school, and we are a small liberal arts and science college. Now, one of my favorite things I like to talk about Eckerd College is our geographic reach. While only about 22% of our students come from in-state, 78 are coming from outside of the state. So you guys coming from Colorado, you would not be the only one. In fact, Colorado is one of our top 5 states that we see students coming from, but of a small campus body of about 1,900 students, 47 states are represented along with 41 countries, and most of our students do live on campus for all 4 years here at Eckerd, about 90%, and most of our students on average travel about 1,000 miles away from home to attend Eckerd College. Fun fact, the average in the country is about 250 miles, so that kind of dives into the personality of our Eckerd students, which I will touch upon throughout these 6 minutes. But I typically describe our students as adventurous because most of them are traveling from pretty far away to come here. Now, with that being said, Eckerd is on a 4-1-4 academic calendar. So we're sort of diving into the academic portion here. So what 4-1-4 means is that students will take 4 classes in the fall. They will take 1 class during winter term, which is a 3-week program during the month of January, which I especially like talking about to Colorado students because you may not want to spend the month of January in Colorado. And then students will typically spend the spring semester taking 4 classes as well. We fit the winter term course during the month of January, and it's very common for students to study abroad during this winter term program. We're actually the number 2 college in the country for short-term study abroad, and it's because of the amount of study abroad programs we have during that month of January. So about 75% of our students in our graduating class last year were able to study abroad. Now, with that being said, during your first year of college, we understand it could be a little bit intimidating to move 1,000+ miles away from home, which is why we have a 3-week freshman orientation. So freshman year, it's actually on a 1-4-4 academic calendar. So students arrive 3 weeks early, take part in a freshman orientation called autumn term. I joke that we should call it hot term because it is hot in Florida in August. You'll participate in academic coursework, campus activities, you'll get to meet your faculty mentor, and you'll get to do some community service opportunities during those first 3 weeks. But it's a great time to get to meet students that are also first-year students, as well as peer mentors, resident advisors, all that good stuff. So here is a list of our academic majors. While all of these are very valuable, I like to note that anything with an asterisk is a minor, everything else is a major. Some popular majors range from marine science to environmental studies, animal studies. I love our international business program along with international relations and global affairs. And we're seeing visual arts as an up-and-coming program. We just completed a brand new visual arts building, which we are excited about and hope that our students are excited about using that. We also have self-designed majors. So if there's a major that we do not offer, you can actually create a major within reason with the approval of a faculty mentor. So let's talk about campus life. Here is a beautiful picture of our campus. Yes, we are located on the beach and our students like to take full advantage of that. So I like to say our motto is think outside, and we take that very figuratively and literally. We take it literally in that the typical Eckerd student is very outdoorsy. We take full advantage of the outdoors here. As you see from this picture, you see students hanging out at the beach before the sunset. We are a pet-friendly college, which is why there is a dog on our campus. Yes, you can bring your pet as long as it's below 40 pounds and approved by our pet council. To the right is our marine science building, and this is definitely one of our picturesque views on campus. Another phrase I use to describe a typical Eckerd student is that they are barefoot. It is not uncommon to see someone walking around barefoot on campus. We do have one of the country's most comprehensive waterfront programs. So we have canoes, kayaks, paddleboards that students can rent out for free. All you need to do is pass a swimming test and have your Eckerd ID on you. But don't get it twisted. We do use these for academic opportunities as well. Yes, our students use it for leisure. If they are stressed out on a Sunday and they want to take out a canoe, they can. But it's very common for classes to take out canoes or kayaks over to local bird preserves and examine the birds and examine the effects that climate change is having on it. We also have a search and rescue team, which is to the left of this picture. So our students take full advantage of the waterfront for leisure and for academic opportunities. Now, since you, within these 5 minutes, have fallen in love with Eckerd, we are accepting applications now. We are on the Common Application or the Eckerd application. We are test optional for students applying this year and next year. We accept high school transcript, letter of recommendation, and if you submit your application before November 15th, it will be considered an early action application. To be noted, that is a non-binding application. We'll guarantee a decision by December 15th. If you don't make that deadline, that's a-okay. We'll still accept applications after that as well. I like to leave off my presentation with a nice quote. If you have not heard of the Colleges That Change Lives books, you should check it out. It highlights 40 schools that just do something different. And in Eckerd's chapter, it starts by saying Eckerd might seem like the perfect spot for an easy college career. 4 years marked by the sun, surf, and sand. But if you're looking for a vacation, you should enroll elsewhere. The reason I say this is because you saw some nice pictures of the beach and the waterfront on our campus. And yes, that is an awesome personality trait of our campus. But we are looking for, presentation's over, but we are looking for students who value a comprehensive liberal arts education. So if that's what you're looking for, Eckerd could be the place for you. But I will digress and let the next person go.
Great, thank you. And next we'll hear from the University of South Florida.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Danielle Castro, and I am the out-of-state admission recruiter advisor for University of South Florida. So go ahead and get us started here. But essentially, one of the big things that we love to talk about USF is that we are a large public institution located right in the Tampa Bay area. We do have 3 campuses that we are actually spread out across. So we do have a location in the Tampa, main Tampa campus, our St. Petersburg campus, and our Sarasota Manatee campus. So they are spread out throughout the Tampa Bay area, but we do offer a wide array of different activities that the students can get involved in at each campus, as well as tons of opportunity for internships and research during the students' programs. One of the things that we love to pride ourselves on is that all of our programs, every single one, offers internship and research availability as early as freshman year. So as long as you are planning to do an internship and you are working with our career services department, or you definitely want to do research, and you're working with your academic advisor, there you will be able to complete that, which is really neat. Not a lot of students can say they get to finish a whole research portion and get published before they graduate with their bachelor's degree. So we love being able to offer that to our students. We were founded in 1956. We currently have over 50,000 students at our, across actually all three campuses, with about 37,000 students that are just undergraduate. A really great part about our classes is that even though we are a large public institution, we really do still focus on the individual student. And so that's why you'll see that our student to faculty ratio is typically 21 students to a professor, and average class sizes are about 33 students. If any of our students ever have to take any of our auditorium styled courses, which are going to be, about 200 students in a lecture hall, it might be one class that you have to take from your general electives or general education credits. And in those cases, we do have mandatory office hours for our professors to meet with students. We also will have about 8 teaching assistants that will be assigned to that class, so that the students can get broken down into about groups of 20, where they will meet an additional hour out of the week with their TA. So it's not just their lecture and their time with the professor. They have another individual who's well versed in the topic and able to meet with you guys and go over important information. Make sure that you guys are ready to go the next time that you have a lecture, or if you have an upcoming test or project. Campus is very diverse. We've got 41.5% of our USF students diverse backgrounds, meaning that all 50 states, all US territories, and over 141 countries are represented at our campus. It makes for a really great melting pot for our students as far as being able to learn about different cultures of students. Maybe they've never heard of countries where they're coming from, or maybe a country that they're very interested in and they haven't gotten to meet someone in person. But it also does open up a lot of study abroad opportunity, which we do allow for our students to be able to start participating in their second semester of freshman year. We do have a record holder right now of 7 semesters of study abroad in different areas. So that's another part to it, is that you're not limited to just going once. There are many different programs that will be offered to students that correlate with their academic program, where they're able to study abroad in different areas. But again, we have over 200 programs that you guys are able to study and learn from. So that's always a nice part for our students. They don't feel like they want, as long as they are willing to sit down with their academic advisor and career services to really hone in on what they would like to do after school. We do have a very active campus life. So in the Tampa area, we're very close to a lot of things, as far as Sparkman Wharf, which is like a really nice area down by the waterfront, as well as the Tampa Bay River Walk, and very close to the city. So what it is with theme parks that we have nearby, as well as the science and museum industry. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers nearby for games the students like to attend, as well as the Tampa Bay Lightning. So a lot of opportunity students to be able to get involved off campus, of course, because it's just in a great area where there's so many things to get involved with. But we do also have a lot of things on campus for our students to get involved with. We also do have 17 NCAA Division I sports teams that our students are able to go out and watch their games. One of our big pride points is that our USF football team currently plays at an NFL stadium. So they play at the Bucs Stadium, and they're able to go and enjoy their games there. So maybe if they've never been able to attend an NFL game, or it's something that they've always wanted to do, they have that opportunity with our team. We also do have the Honors College that our students can apply to. We do encourage every student that is interested to apply to the Honors College, and we are able to go through the specifics of any additional application material that students have to send in for that too. This is just a profile of what our incoming fall 2020 class looks like. We know that many students are always asking about that, but if any students do have any questions specifically related to what the average GPA or SAT scores are, ACT scores are, I would be more than happy to go over that with you guys. This is just kind of a snapshot to see what our fall and summer incoming classes look like. We also like to point out that we do have some deadlines coming up. So typically our most important ones for USF are going to be the priority application deadline, which is always November 1st, and then January 15th to have your completed application so that you are considered for both scholarship and admissions. Currently, we are still requiring an application, which you can find us on Common App, Coalition App, and our VZ or Visual Zen application on our webpage, the $30 application fee along with official transcripts. And right now, Florida or USF is part of the Florida State University system, so we are still requiring SAT and or ACT test scores. So we will be taking those tests that you have taken all the way through December. So just so that you guys are aware. And then just so that you guys are also in the know, we have different scholarships for you to have available as out-of-state students. So scholarships are not just limited to in-state students. And I will now turn it over to the next presenter.
Thank you. And the final presenter for this session is Florida Institute of Technology, and then you'll have a chance to ask your questions.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of some technical problems here this afternoon, but my name is Joy Walton. I am from Florida Institute of Technology here in Melbourne, Florida. Melbourne is part of the Space Coast. If you're not familiar with that term, the Space Coast, we are about 30 minutes away from NASA. Actually, our university was started by engineers from NASA, and we are 61 years young this year. We have a student body comprised of roughly 6,000 students. 3,500 are undergrads and about 2,500 are grad students. At our university, you can get anything from your bachelor's degree right through to your PhD. Our class sizes are relatively small. We have a ratio of professor to student of about 1 to 18. We are very hands-on research based. That being said, one of the things I would like for you to know, you go directly into your major from day one at our university. We do not do 2 years of gen ed and then ask you what it is you want to study. If you're thinking about going into mechanical engineering, you start taking those classes right away. You're thinking about going into psychology, you're taking those classes from day one. Again, being so heavily research-based, another thing that stands out with us is we do not relegate those opportunities to participate in research strictly to upperclassmen and grad students. We do open that up to everyone. So you, even as freshmen, have equal opportunity as anyone on campus to ask to become part of a research team. I often tell students, when you ask to become part of a research team, and if a professor says they don't have any more spaces, don't despair. If you are a freshman or a sophomore and you show such initiative, we're an institution, we are very interested in your ideas. We recognize that you are the future. We will find a project for you to be in. Other opportunities for projects present themselves within internships. All students, regardless of what their major happens to be, you will do a minimum of an internship. And those students who maintain a GPA of 3.5 and above, they have an opportunity to be part of our co-op program. And our co-op program means that you're on campus one semester, the following semester you're working. So those students who are in our co-op program, they're working at NASA, they're working at Embraer Air, they're working on Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, GE, many of the companies that happen to be along the Space Coast area currently at this time. Other things with our university, besides being very heavy research-based, we are very hands-on. I can speak from personal experience. My first semester here, I'm an alumni from here. My first day of class in one of my classes, we were given a project due in 2 weeks. So when I say that we're heavy project-based, very hands-on, trust me when I tell you about that. On a lighter side, some of the things we are an NCAA Division II school. We have all sorts of sports on our campus for intramural sports, tennis courts, 2 Olympic-sized pools, anything just about that you want to think about doing, we do have on our campus or in the immediate area. We're about 3 to 5 miles in from the Atlantic Ocean. So right now, one of our more popular sports happens to be surfing. So we do have a surfing club available. We want to make sure you know how to swim before you do that, of course, but we do have that available as well. Again, with connection to NASA, those students who are in STEM majors, it is not at all unusual for you to have professors who are either astronauts, and or have some affiliation with NASA. Persons on our faculty have been Winston Scott. He's currently at our university. Buzz Aldrin was part of our university. So we have many, many astronauts who have been astronauts and continue to work with NASA at this particular time. We do have an honors college. I also encourage you to apply for the honors college. And for the young women who are interested in STEM, we have Women in STEM, which I am a great proponent of. Get involved with Women in STEM. They have their own housing. It's almost like a sorority, for lack of a better term. And it's a great networking opportunity for young women who want to be involved in STEM majors as well. Other things that we have going on campus, if you're not athletic, we do have the arts, we have theater, we have music, we have an art gallery here in our campus, but one thing really outstanding about our campus, we have botanical gardens. So when you need to get to that point where you just need to decompress, you go into our botanical gardens, sit down on one of the benches, and nobody bothers you. Over 100 clubs are on our campus. Just about anything that you think that you want to do, and if for some reason we don't have it, get two other people to buy into your idea, present the idea to the president of the university. 9 out of 10 times they let you start your own club. When it comes time to apply, we have rolling admission, which means we don't have a particular deadline. Just look at it as you have literally up to the week before classes begin to be admitted into our university. The things that we're going to be looking for, we are not test optional in this particular conversation, so I am going to be looking for ACT or SAT scores, official scores, high school transcripts, 1 letter of recommendation, and of course an application. We do accept the Common App. We also have our own application at fit.edu. Both applications are free. Either one will do. One holds no more weight over the other. We have a flat rate tuition at our university, so everyone is paying the same. Our students are coming from all 50 states, so don't worry, you're not the only people from Colorado there. They're from all 50 states, and they're from about 100 nations. On our campus, we are very diverse. We have about 106 different languages spoken on our campus at any given time. So we are very global, yet we are very intimate. Only professors teach at our university. We don't have TAs teaching at our university. The only time that you will encounter a TA is in a lab situation. They are there for fielding a question and for safety, but only professors teach. All professors have hours, office hours, and we are very flexible with that. So, my office hours are 2 to 4. You can't get there. It's not unusual. Your professor will ask you, do you want me to come in earlier? Do you want me to stay later? They will work with you. We are a very competitive university, so I want you to keep that in mind. Everybody wants to be number one here, but it's also healthy competition. Everyone will help you out, all right? So those are just some of the things that I want you to know about Florida Institute of Technology.
All right, thank you to all of our presenters, and we'll open it up for a few minutes for anybody who has a question. You can pop it in the Q&A box right there, and our presenters will be able to answer those questions out loud for everyone. And we do have a question for FIT.
Yes. Okay. Yes, we do have an aeronautics program. We're about 10 minutes away from Melbourne Airport, so we have a very extensive aeronautics program. Any major that you take at Florida Institute of Technology, you can always add flight to it. So that definitely is an option for all students as well. Yes.
I'm happy to kick off the question about financial aid packages for out-of-state students. So the University of Tampa is a private university, so there is no difference in in-state and out-of-state tuition. We do have a grant for Florida residents attending a private university, so that's kind of the only perks being a Florida resident. Outside of that, every student is awarded the same way, so you're automatically evaluated for those merit scholarships that I mentioned, ranging from $4,000 to $18,000 a year. And you could potentially receive additional scholarships based on academic rigor. And then we do have some scholarships based on your major as well that you can apply to once you're admitted. And then in addition to that, we have our own need-based aid. So make sure to fill out the FAFSA or the federal aid form so that we can also evaluate you for that aid.
We have a similar situation. All of our financial aid packages, obviously, they are individual, and you don't need to do anything additional as far as applying for scholarships. Once you are invited to join us at FIT, you're immediately being considered for scholarships. We have academic-based scholarships, needs-based scholarships, and a few athletic-based scholarships. We do have some special scholarships for Gold Leaf, Girl Scouts, Eagle Scouts for males, robotics, VEX and FIRST robotic participants. So we do have a few specialized scholarships as well. So if when you're filling out that application, give me as much information as possible because we might be able to tap into something that affords you additional financial aid.
And I can touch on Eckerd College. So Eckerd College is a private institution, so tuition is the same for in-state and out-of-state, but we do offer merit scholarship that ranges from $8,000 to $25,000 per year based on GPA and test scores if you decide to submit those. And we also offer financial aid through the FAFSA, would encourage you to fill it out. And on top of that, we do offer some specialized scholarships such as a first-year research scholarship. So I would definitely recommend checking out our website. I won't dive too deep into it, but we do offer hands-on research scholarships for first-year students, along with artistic scholarships and a lot of scholarships out there.
Similarly for USF, we do encourage for our students to definitely put in the FAFSA, especially because if our students are applying and there may be an additional scholarship within the program department that they're looking at, that would be very helpful because then they have all of the need-based information based off of the FAFSA as well. And it just shows that you guys have taken that extra step of doing your due diligence and filling out the FAFSA. However, we are a public state institution, so we do have a difference as far as the in-state and out-of-state price range. We will say that as far as Florida state institutions, we typically tend to be the most affordable one for our out-of-states coming in, as well as we do have a lot of scholarships available through our foundations department, which is located in financial aid. And a lot of our program departments also work with students so that throughout their time with USF, if it's not something that they initially qualify when they're coming in for, they can reevaluate each year to see if they maybe qualify for a different scholarship for their program departments as well.
If you don't mind me jumping in, there was a question about what the abroad program looks like at Eckerd. So like I was saying before, we do have a winter term program. So it's common for students to go abroad for 3 weeks during the month of January. Some common areas, we do have a London study center. We send students to the Galapagos Islands to do turtle research. We send students to Cuba at the University of Havana. I just talked to a student who went to Thailand to look into study human development. So a lot of opportunities for study abroad, which is why we're ranked one of the top study abroad programs in the country for short term.
I did see a question for USF regarding acceptance rate. So we have a 46% acceptance rate, and what we emphasize when we are talking about this with our students is that we look at a student's application for every upcoming term start availability. So for instance, may have students that apply for fall term, and as the time goes on throughout the application process, it will become more competitive as you guys are sending in applications and test scores. So what we'll do is we'll actually look at a student's profile and say, hey, maybe they are not going to be as successful coming in and starting for fall. We want to make sure that we're setting them up for success, that they are coming in and don't feel overwhelmed. And if we feel that maybe summer or spring start might be a better opportunity for a student, we would offer that as an alternate admissions offer rather than denying the student. Denying the student is always last case scenario once we've looked at our criteria for our incoming classes for spring, summer, and fall. And then as far as pet friendly, so we do not actually allow animals in the dorms unless it is for special purposes. So if it is like, I believe we do emotional support animals, but if they are need-based as far as any health issues or underlying issues that the students would need that for and get the proper certification, that's a different story. However, with our housing, students don't actually have to live on campus at any point. It is highly recommended for our out-of-state students that are coming in at least for a semester on campus, just so that they feel more acclimated to the area, just because they're especially coming from out of state. They feel a little bit more again, acclimated to campus and to the area that they're moving into. But if bringing your animal is something that you must do and you feel like you need to have them with you, then you also have the availability to live off campus at any point.
Yes, again, similar to the University of South Florida, we are pet friendly. If you have a support animal and it's approved, and you can bring your support animal. I've had classes where people bring their support animals to the class, so that is something that we do have going on here as well. I will admit we're not nearly as pet friendly as Eckerd seems to be, but we are pet friendly. Absolutely, I'm giving you props there, Eckerd. I'm impressed with your pets.
We definitely pride ourselves on the pet friendliness of our college, but there are residence halls that are not pet friendly for those who may not want to live with a pet.
I'll go ahead and just answer that for UT as well. We are not pet friendly, only if you have a service animal or emotional support animal, just in case anyone was wondering.
I see Danielle lives in a pet friendly house. I just saw the dog back there. It's my Eckerd vision always goes and looks for the pets.
I do. I have 4 lovely fur dogs that all join in on all of my virtual meetings. So all of our students can see them while we work.
We'll give it another 2 minutes on any other questions that are coming in, and then we can wrap up a couple minutes early since there's fewer presenters than normal.
I think we all did a great job. All 4 of these schools sounds like schools I would love to attend for college.
I agree.
Florida's a great destination for colleges.
I believe Florida is one of the top trending schools that students are going to college for.
Well, someone who just did grad school in Chicago, I think Florida sounds much better. Chicago's great, but only for about 3 months of the year.
I'll warn you that we're getting a cold front tomorrow. It's supposed to be 60 degrees in the morning, so.
I'm so excited.
Excellent. Well, with that, I think we can wrap up. When the talk turns to the weather, I think we can wrap up there. So I will just thank all of the participants and presenters for joining us this evening. When you close the window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. And this, again, is just one of many sessions that we're hosting. So be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And then in about a week, you will be able to find this session's recording, as well as recordings of all the other sessions available where you registered for this meeting. So once again, have a lovely evening. I'm sure I'll see a few of you in the next session. And if not, I will see you another time. Have a nice night.